Viewers, this is Waqas Iqbal from Tracks. Today, we are again resuming our series, Harvard Business Review case studies, and the case study which has been chosen, that is what leaders really do, by Professor Emeritus at Harvard Business School, John P. Kotter. What he actually says, what's the thrust of this review, I must share first before I give the floor to Dr. Athar Mansoor to explain the idea. It says they don't leaders, it's all about leadership. They don't make plans, they don't solve problems, they don't even organize people. What leaders really do is prepare organization for change and help them cope as they struggle through it. So, Dr. Athar Mansoor, welcome to the series of Harvard Business Review video discussions. And I know you have a busy schedule somewhere in England, maybe at Cambridge. So, thank you so much for giving us time.
No problem, Gus. Thank you for inviting me into the show. It's always a pleasure to talk to the audience and to the viewers about Harvard Business Review articles because all of them are usually written after extensive research, and they have great lessons for all kinds of managerial challenges, leadership issues which people face in business or public sector organizations.
So, Dr. Athar, what's the brief or main idea of what leaders really do? Can you please explain for our viewers?
Yes. So I think John Cotter has very aptly pointed out in this article that uh, the most pernicious half truth about leadership is that it's just a matter of vision and charisma. And if you don't have them, you can't become leader. So he has tried to elaborate it through various examples and through theoretical knowledge that leadership skills are not basically innate and they can be acquired and you can hone them, but first you have to appreciate that how leadership skills differ from management skills. So this is the prerequisite. And Cotter, in fact, defines management as something which is related with coping with complexity. Because you see, in today's organizational environment, internally and externally, organization is faced with a lot of complexities in terms of human resources, in terms of technical resources, financial resources, and other things happening inside and outside the organization in a very rapid manner. So, management tries to cope with this complexity and tries to bring predictability and order to the situation. Whereas this is not enough for organizations to grow, to prosper, and to deliver value. And if they are in private sector, they need to deliver shareholder value, and if they are in public sector, they need to deliver public value. And they need to not just be managed, but they need to be led. And in order, and because if they have good leaders and if they are led adeptly and adroitly, then they will be able to adapt to change. And leadership is, in fact, a phenomenon which will help the organizations cope with change. So, if I summarize what the idea is, as you asked in your question, that briefly the idea is about defining management as something which deals with complexity and defining leadership as something which deals with or which is able to help organization cope with rapid change.
So, Dr. Athar, if I pick a line from your answer that is so catchy, that leadership is not innate, which myself used to think like that leadership was innate. So let's further gear up this discussion. Would you please differentiate the roles of management and the roles of leadership? How one can uh, see the visible difference or somehow the invisible difference?
Yes, in fact, in the article, Kotter has very, I think, professionally laid down three areas in which he distinguishes and how between the two phenomena and how they play out in practice. So, if I talk about how he explains management, and initially I explained that it's about complexity, dealing with complexity. So, to reduce that complexity, Cotter says that management involves planning and budgeting. And planning and budgeting, are two concepts, two notions which help reduce complexity and which bring order and predictability in any environment. If you don't plan, you can't have a predictable or certain environment within an organization. And budgeting also leads you towards reducing complexity within the organization. Whereas, from the perspective of leadership, Cotter says that leadership is all about setting direction. So, direction where the organization or the institution wants to go from that perspective. The second idea, the second thing which Kotter discusses for putting the idea into practice is that management involves organizing and staffing, right? So, leadership is different. It's not about organizing and staffing, because organizing and staffing is going to bring predictability and order. Whereas leadership is, just as in the initial discussion I elaborated, it's about coping with change. So leaders align people. Their job involves aligning the people towards that bigger goal, towards achievement of something which is the future desired state. That is the second thing which Cotter distinguishes, which Cotter explains as far as putting the idea into practice is concerned. And the third angle which Cotter discusses is that management provides control and solves problems, whereas leadership is about providing motivation to the employees. So these are the three areas. I'll go a little bit into a little bit. I'll discuss a little bit detail. So
Go ahead, sir.
the first, sorry.
Yes, you can
Yes,
further
yes, yes.
discuss.
So yes, I will first discuss the planning and budgeting notion, the notions of planning and budgeting, and then how they compare or contrast with setting direction. So as I told you, that Cotter says that it's about planning and budgeting from the angle of a manager, and the aim is to bring orderly results, because if there are orderly results, the manager will be evaluated as an excellent or outstanding manager, and for that he uses the tools of planning and budgeting. Whereas leaders are consumed by bringing in change, and for that they set direction towards that change, which involves the search of patterns and relationships between different parts of the organization, so that the organization can move towards that change. Similarly, as far as organizing and staffing is concerned, managers look for the right fit between people and jobs. So, how people are fit with particular jobs, how they fall into a particular category of jobs, and what skills they have in terms of performing that job, which is essentially regarded as a design problem, and setting up systems to ensure that plans are implemented precisely and efficiently. This is the job of a manager. Whereas leaders, in fact, look at the right fit between people and the vision. So the vision is the desired future state where the leader sees the organization in future, and it is more of a communication problem, not a design problem. So organizing people and staffing people is a design problem, whereas aligning people with the vision is a communication problem, and leaders have to be effective and powerful communicators in taking the people towards that desired state. The
They have
next
to
thing I think,
communicate
which,
strategically.
yes, they have to communicate strategically. They have to communicate in a bigger picture format, so that the overall motivation, which is the third part, which is also related to inspiring them, because if you motivate them, you inspire them towards a future state. They will move with a lot of zeal and a lot of vigor and a lot of enthusiasm. And the third thing about management is that it is about controlling activities and solving problems, whereas management is all about motivating and inspiring. So these are the three areas which Kotter discusses. And if the leaders, for the for putting it in a simplified manner, I would say that leaders stir a sense of belongingness, a sense of idealism, and self esteem within the followers in an organization.
Right. So, Dr. Athar, what are the learning outcomes? If you can share some learning outcomes from this particular case study in the end for our views, and particularly by keeping in view the developing or underdeveloped world, that what they can learn from this, like we in South Asia or we in Middle East.
Yes, I think so. I think the major learning points which need to be taken by the viewers through this article is that the question of aligning versus organizing and stuffing, they must be thrashed out very carefully. And it needs to be realized that management and leadership are two distinct functions, but they are not in conflict with each other. They are, in fact, complementary to each other. So, an organization does not only need leaders, but at the same time, it does not only need managers. So, at whatever role you are placing people, as if you are a top leader, for example, a CEO or a C suite in an organization, you need to understand that people who are good in managerial skills, for example, planning and budgeting, they should be placed at managerial roles. And people who are good in aligning people towards some things, towards a direction, then they should be placed at leadership roles. Similarly, the second part, which is about motivation, inspiring, and controlling and problem solving, is again, they are complementary. So motivation is required for the organization in terms of employees looking at something and then persistently making effort towards achieving that something which has been shown to them through the eyes of a leader. And then at the same time, those managers need to be placed at proper places within the organization who can be controllers of the processes and situations and who can be problem solvers. So these are again complementary functions. So they are not in conflict. And lastly, if I apply to the last thing which Kotter discusses, is to create a culture of leadership within the organization. So it has to be understood that the top leaders have to spot people with great leadership potential early on in their careers, and they must be identified properly, and then they must be stretched to that extent where they can develop into exceptional and outstanding leaders as they move up. So, leadership capabilities within institutions should be developed in people, keeping in view their knack and interest towards leadership and how leaders think about organizations. Whereas managerial skills also need to be inculcated at the same time in people within organization so that they can bring an environment of order and predictability. But eventually, we need to understand that both these roles are extremely important for all kinds of institutions. And lastly, I'm going to come back to the initial discussion is that leadership qualities are not innate, they can be honed and they can be acquired. But it takes a lot of effort, hard effort. It takes a lot of extraordinary passion to become leader because then you need to be ready for change and you need to make the organizations ready to adapt to change.
Thank you, Dr. Athar, for such an elaborated conceptual discussion for the viewers. So, viewers, leadership is all about to bring change, to have change, to handle change, and to direct. they change. So if you like our discussion, you can please give us your feedback in the comments. Do subscribe us, do give us your comment, and we can choose topic of your interest too in our coming videos of Harvard Business Review. Till next time, take care. Thank you.